today we are playing Star Wars Rivals, which is a sort of a two-player head-to-head character battler. So think Land, Air, Sea or Marvel Snap, using little sort of Star Wars Funko figures.
I don't know if you can see that. How great are these? They're so cute. Yeah. They're rad.
This is also a game that has a starter set that has blind boxing, which has that collectible element. I'm joined by Dean. Dean, thank you very much for coming down and having a game. People would know you mainly as a comic book artist. As we get started, and I'll start off because I've got the high ground and Obi-Wan and you have to do it.
Understandable.
Can you tell me a little bit about some of your work?
So I'm a comic book artist and I'm an illustrator. And I've, notably the big ones, I've worked on The Simpsons, Futurama, Rick and Morty, Underdog, Oggy and the Cockroaches, Invader Zim. I have a creator-owned book series called Death Metal Emo Elves, which is about elves that learn how to rock. Recently did a thing called Can You Find the Easter Bunny, which is like a Where's Wally thing. So I find that just to survive, I need to sort of, I work locally and I work for overseas publishers as well. And so, yeah, I've had a kind of a unique kind of career and had some really nice opportunities.
I think that's one thing I've noticed is that you are very prolific, that you are releasing a lot of different things. So sometimes it's licensed comics or illustrating stories or comics or illustrated books for other people, or you're doing your own projects and you're sort of really obviously self-motivated quite a lot. Yeah. Is that a fair statement to say?
Yeah, I think so. I want to look back at my life and feel like I've done something. So I tend to work pretty hard and just keep chugging along.
Now, so your turn to place out a figure. So we're each going to take turns.
Oh, just one figure each.
Yep, one figure, and then I'll go again.
I reckon Tarkin could take him.
Yep, I'm going to put. I'll put her here.
That one.
I guess I'm gonna hedge my bets because we're actually gonna, after we do this, we're gonna roll the dice and see which of them store, and then we play a card. So this is who we're storing for the first round. We're storing all three of them. So we've got our cards. Then we're gonna store. So Chewie has 2, Grievous has 4. So you would win this one.
Nice.
So there you go.
Didn't even mean it. Yep.
And then you got 6 plays 3. So I would win this one.
Fine. I don't want it anyway.
And then you would win this one. Then we return our characters back and reveal the new phase. The high ground swaps over. And you kick us off.
Tarkin, he's a bad way anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. So we talked a little bit about your work as an illustrator. Various different mediums, work with different people, work in different IPs, and you've listed a lot of stuff which people should check out. The other thing you've done is you have a job that you do and you've done for a long time. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah. So to support my habit of drawing pictures, I've always had a part-time job. So for 12 hours a week, 3 evenings a week, I work at a needle and syringe program, an outreach program. So drive around the suburbs of Melbourne, south of Melbourne, and we provide clean injecting equipment to injecting drug users. So the idea behind that is for to reduce the spread of bloodborne viruses for people.
So I guess you sort of introduced it as this is the way to support your drawing, but like that's not a job that you do if you don't want to do it.
So yes. Look, I like it. I think it's important work. So when I finished art, I did an art design course at TAFE and started freelancing. Found it was really hard to survive just in freelancing. So I did a youth worker course. So I became a youth worker and community development worker. And so I've done a number of different things, worked with homeless people, worked at legal centres, and for the last 23 years I've been in this role with outreach. And I really like it. And I think it's important as well. It's important that even if people are making certain choices about their lives, that the hope is that if they do stop, they can be clean, and if they don't stop, they can be clean as long as they can
be safe as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I think it's, I'm a mental health nurse and I'm working a little bit with addiction, but it's sort of new to me, so I'm still learning. It's not something where you can't just decide to stop and it instantly, these are chemicals that affect your brain and affect your body. There's a whole.
The whole just say no is a slippery slope.
Yeah.
And so people start using for different reasons, and they continue using for different reasons, and also they stop for different reasons. And on that journey, the idea of a needle syringe program is harm minimization, which you'd be familiar with the term, is to reduce the risk as much as you can while people are using. Because
I imagine illustrating comic books or illustrating picture books, often you're collaborating with other people, but it's probably a fairly insular activity. Do you enjoy that you have this job where there is that element of you're engaging with different people, you're sort of directly helping somebody?
Yeah, I mean, it gets me out of the house. Absolutely, yeah, because generally I will work drawing-wise. I work pretty much every day. So it's kind of like, in some ways, it's like a forced get out of the house and do something else for a little while. But yeah, I like it. You can drive around, meet good people, interesting people, and I have a pretty good time with it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's your turn to put out a figure.
Oh, okay. I'm going to Grievous over here again.
Grievous is 4. Okay. I think I'm going to go here. And you can put multiple people on the same one if you so desire.
Then all right. I reckon I could do this.
And I'm going to use this turn to heal her. Once it happens, I'm going to roll the dice. Do you want to roll this time, Dean?
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
So we are scoring 1 and 2. If we're scoring 1, no one stores this, so it stays there. I've got 5, and you've got, so you've got 4, 5, 6. So you're going to win that one.
Thank you very much.
Killing
it.
Yes, you are. The dark side is winning.
It's flowing through me. You can feel it.
This one will not be stored today. We take those back. She's healed up. And that's sort of a taste of how you would play Star Wars Rivals. You normally would play to the end of the deck. You can also get more different figures, different characters. Some characters.
I would just do it just for his little laser hands. That's rad. Look at him.
Yep. So, Dean, we talked about your illustration and talked about your outreach program. If people are keen to read some of your work, now this is being filmed in March and it's not going to air for a long time, so we might be a little outdated with some of your work, but what are some key highlights that you would love people to check out?
I would love it if they could have a look at the Rick and Morty Super Spring Break special.
Yep.
I'm very proud of that. Yep. That will be out. They'll be out by the time this airs.
Yep.
Death Metal Emo Elves, if you have young people in your life. Yep. Book 3 will be out. So the Death Metal Emo Elves, there's Death Metal Emo Elves and the Magic Peak of Awesomeness, and the 3rd book, Death Metal Emo Elves Lollipalooza.
Okay, yep.
The elves, they're in a band, they rock,
Yep, yep. Excellent. Dean, thank you very much for coming down, having a game and also having a chat. It's been great.
Cheers, thanks so much.